G'day folks, welcome back. Got a beautiful fire chuffing away. Oh, it's lovely. It's really nice. Takes about an hour for this little shed to warm up. There's no insulation in it, the shed. It's just while the fire's chuffing away. It's beautiful in here. Absolutely awesome. I was just thinking just before I did this video, guys, this car's turned 45 in March 1975. March, 3rd month. Goodness me. And it's still giving immense pleasure to its current owner. How cool is that? Not many things of that age can do that in this world. Well, guys, we've got the brake calipers all welded, mounted up, the brackets all mounted. We've replaced both axles and very, very happy. Very happy with it all so far. See how I've ended up placing the caliper on the inboard side, and I've duplicated the front, so that's the inboard of the wheelbase. I don't know if it means anything really, but every little bit helps, I think. Awesome, love it. Very, very happy with it, guys. So yesterday, well, actually, I want to make a mention. I put a post up on Facebook. We've got a beautiful forum or a Facebook page. It's called Custom Muscle Tasmania. And goodness me, it's a great little post. They put up some really good stuff. It's all Tasmanian cars, and it's surprising. Like Tasmania itself's only got a population of around 500,000. And I think per population, we've got some incredible cars here. It's a real culture of good old classic stuff, even right through to the modern era. And it's a great little page, and very good community. I love it. I love it. Anyway, I put a post up shouting out for some brake lines. Who could point me in the right direction in my local town, Launceston? And heaps of people put comments up, and it was so great, and it was so helpful. So to all you folks that did that, if you're watching, following me, thanks guys, I really appreciated it. Well, I got onto MBC in Launceston. I think it's called Northern Brake and Clutch. That's the abbreviation for it, I think. But it's an auto parts store, and sort of as their sideline business, they do all brake lines, fabricate up flexible lines. It's all ADR approved. And look, the guys went out of their way to help me there yesterday. They did it there and then on the job. It took about an hour by the time we fluffed around finding all the little bits that I needed. But look, it was amazing. Great little shop. Awesome. Local business, going out of their way to help me. And it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. These flexible lines are the same as the front ones. I kept it for simplicity. So, because really I've only got well, there's the front. It runs up through to the chassis and I'll hook into a hard line. Well, I wanted to do the same for the rear. Now, this will probably run along sort of 2/3 of the diff, and then I'll run into a junction or a T, probably about there, with a little short hard line. And then from this flexible line, from the diff, the centre of the diff and thereabouts, to the chassis. So this is our flexible line. It will allow for suspension movement. And then I can go hard line from this end through the cab to my master cylinder. And I've got all the line here, enough to sort of do it. And my plan is once I run the line, get it all how I want it, I can take it all back out, and my local trailer business offered to flare the ends for me. So thank you, Blair, for offering your flaring tool to send it over from Melbourne to here. But I thought, look, I'll give this business a go, because these guys, Blair, helped me incredibly on this trailer. I couldn't have built this trailer without the help of Sunrise Trailer, Rick. His information was just amazing. He knew all the specs, the sizes, dimensions, to bring it all legal, and it was just fantastic. So to buy some line off him and get them to fab up the ends was a bit of a no-brainer, really. So, but thank you, Blair, for the offer, mate. It really warms my heart how we can both help each other. Yes, he's a true friend. So thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I ended up picking up a 80 amp fuse, inline fuse, for my Astra power steering pump. And I got some nice old school switches too, because if you do the twin switch on them, you get the instant startup, and I'll show you that once I've got it all wired in, and I should demonstrate it all to you. But got everything I need now, pretty much. All my little clips to fasten the brake line, and I can't wait to do it. I really can't. Anyway, I'll show you underneath on the bracketry setup before we move on into the cab. Oh, that cement's cold. Oh, that was a fiddly job doing this, guys, because you have to be really, really careful when you weld it and not to distort the plate. And I sort of stitch welded it. Oh, can you see there, guys? Yeah. But I got sort of most of it around on this side, and I got sort of 3 spots, decent spots on the other side, and I sort of just tacked it all in, or stitch welded it. It's a bit hard to see, but you get the idea. So they're a permanent fixture now. If I ever have to move them, I've got to cut them off. It's going to be a huge, huge job, but I shouldn't need to. I mean, these back brakes are massive in my opinion. Probably not supercar spec, but for this old girl, 330mm twin piston on the rear, and that means because the front is exactly identical to the rear, if I ever upgrade the front, I've got a spare set of discs for the rear and calipers, so, and lines. I've got everything. So that was my methodology through all this. I wanted to sort of keep it simple, keep it the same, and I think it was a good idea in the finish. But they'll be great. They'll be awesome. You know what too, guys? I'll be able to, if I want to get on the brake, sitting here like that, and I can load up the engine and do 2 or 3 pulls and check my air fuels and just see how that's all sort of performing. But I think that's an awesome set. I'm really happy with it. Very stoked. I'll show you the brake pedal, and I'll show you how this balance bar works. This is really interesting, guys. I've hooked it all up and sort of got it functional. This knob here is for the balance bar, and what I mean by balance bar is inside this pedal assembly there's like a spherical bearing, and if you move that bearing by turning the knob, which I can get up there and turn it, you're moving this spherical bearing either left or right, and what it does, it throws it off balance, and it allows you more thrust than one side. So this controls your front to rear pressure on your calipers. It's like a bias, but it's sort of a mechanical one rather than an inline on the brake line itself. So apparently these are a really effective setup. And you watch when I push on the pedal. You see the right side, how it's diving in more? You picture that being, say, my front brake master cylinder, and I don't want as much on the back, which I won't. Look how it's, and that's with no pressure on it, that's just moving it in and out gently. And I can spin this back the other way. I'll quickly do that for you. And it's moving this bearing across and offsetting it. So it we'll go to the extreme side. So this is going to be great on the fly if I ever need to tweak it on a cold day and the grip's not quite there, and I maybe don't want as much on the back brakes, or it's wet, or even on a hot day I want my brakes to be working really well on the back. I can tweak it on the fly. It's just a matter of getting used to it. All right, now we've gone to the left side hard, and look how it's diving on this side now. Applying, just for example, on the rear brake. I might want to do that if I want to do say a bit of a pull, sitting up here and load up the engine on the brakes. It's a great, it's awesome. Absolutely love that. So I'm going to cut out a little patch of belt sander, and I'm going to glue it on there and paint it all sort of black, because I think if you're on a wet day, if your foot gets wet, this could get quite slippery. But no, I'm very happy with it. Very happy. Now I've mounted my reservoirs. I'll just turn that off, see if that'll fix it. There we go. I've mounted my reservoirs up there, so I'm actually doing a hard line out. I've got some little adapters there, all made up, ready to go. Just got to flare the ends, slide over the little nuts, and then flare the ends, and so I'll end up probably running them down a little bit, and I'll go back through the panel and hide it out of the way and run it to the cylinders. Now looking at it, it's about a foot above the master cylinder. So, and then the master cylinder, when I look compared to the brakes, I'll flick my light back on so you can see. Yeah, you can see there, if you look at the height there versus down here. So we're still quite well above the calipers, so we're not going to get any siphoning. But I think it's going to work well. The reason I put the reservoirs inside here is just in case, if you can keep an eye on it. For example, every time you're jumping in, just keep a little quick eye on the old fluid level. And if you're pumping the brakes, you can top it up inside the car. Whoever's on the foot brake, priming it. And it keeps the engine bay a little bit more cleaner. Since pulling out the power steering pump, it's given me a little taste of the cleanliness of it. You see all the pipes there, but to me, that was a real headache there. It was a real pain when the power steering pump was here to get to that number one spark plug. And for example, if any issues go on with the engine, if I need to pull it out, I don't have to unhook anything. It's just straight out, literally. It makes it so easy. So I think it's going to look really good, and especially with no little master cylinders there. Not master cylinders, sorry, reservoirs sitting there. I just thought it'd look quite nice without them. Yeah, I'm going to take my time with the hard lines and do it, the best job I can. And I have to really think about where I place it, and just take my time. There's no rush. So that's the little update for now, guys. It's coming along really well. I'm very close now to getting it sort of up and running. Oh yeah, it's going to be, and this Astra pump will be very easy to wire in. So it's going to have, I'm a bit of a conundrum with it at the minute, where to tap in for the power side for the electric pump. This is before the isolator switch. Now, if I put it on this side of the isolator switch, will allow for cutting and out, so I can cut the power. It'll load up this little isolator switch too much, I think. So I either, obviously I'm going to put my fuse on it, but tap into this side so there's power there all the time with the fuse, or I think I might upgrade this because this is old. This is probably getting on around, I think I've had that for 15 odd years. Just occasionally it gets a little bit funny, and I think I don't want to put any more loading on it through it. It's bad enough when you start the engine. You've got all the pumps running off it, so I think it's on the limit now. So if I go putting this extra pump on it, I think it may give me trouble. So I might upgrade that, and then I can go back onto this side here. And then when I do take the key out, it cuts everything out. The reason this is my charge wire off my alternator, the red one. The reason I've got it on this side, and by the way, there's a fuse there, an inline fuse there, is if I pull this out while the engine's still running, the engine will die. Now I had it on the other side, on this side, so when you cut power, this charge wire was actually still feeding the system with the engine running, so your engine won't die, it'll just keep running off the alternator. So that's why I've got it on this side. So that's actually, when I wired it up years ago, I actually did it the other way, and the engine wouldn't stop, and I thought, what the hell's going on? So yes, I learnt that pretty quick. But yeah, I think I'll upgrade this to a good quality one that'll handle, I think, at least 150 amps, just to be on the safe side, if not more. Just a really heavy duty one, and then I can draw off it, and it should be all good then. Alright folks, well that's the little update for now on everything. So it's coming along nicely, very happy. So yes, I hope all you guys are well in this troubling time. And you know, you're just keeping busy. I think that's really helping me, is keeping busy and focused on things around home and work, and it really helps me. I hope all you guys can keep busy too, so, and enjoy it still in this troubling time, and be kind to one another, guys. That's what I'm all about now. Just be kind to everyone, and it's funny how people, once you start talking and be kind and compassion, it's amazing how it has a flow-on effect, because a lot of people at the minute are very tense. And it wouldn't take much for people to flare up if you don't give them that little extra bit of tenderness. I think that's lacking in the world at the moment. It really is. All right, guys. Well, I'll pop one up soon. Sorry I didn't pop one last week because I was so busy. I just hadn't had a chance to do too much. But now we're on the home run. I'm really pumped about it all now. So as soon as I get a little bit further with it, guys, I'll put another video up. If any of you guys want to know a bit about the car, if you're sort of interested in any questions or anything that you think I may be able to help, like I said, I'm no expert, but by geez, I've dived in the last 6 years with this sort of stuff, and I have learnt a little bit, and it's been a good thing, guys. It really has. So don't be scared to ask any questions. Offer any advice if you feel that something's not right, you see in a video. And I tell you what, a lot of you guys have really helped me along the way, as I've made a few little boo-boos, and you've pointed out a few things and helped me. And that's what it's all about, guys, sharing the info. All right, well, take care, guys. I'll catch you soon. See you later.